This is Undeniable 18. Update on the coronavirus situation at Michigan State University and plans for the morning watch during this period and going onward to the end of the semester. So obviously, here at Michigan State, coronavirus has had a large impact, as in Michigan and the rest of the country. I think obviously for Michigan, it was very quick. It was about between 12 to 24 hours cycle where we went from a few cases to 12, and then now it's 25 or so. And we went from, just going about our daily lives, classes, and then we're getting emails from administration saying, all right, classes are online, and then it went to right after that, a few hours later or something like that, they went and said, student groups should not be meeting. It's recommended that, groups of more than 15 meet on Zoom, social distancing, all that kind of stuff. And so a lot of people are heading home. The initial announcements were made towards the middle of the week, and now at the weekend, several students are leaving. Just going through campus at night, see how much of the dorms are still full, what lights are on or off. About a third to a half of the, lights are just, there's no lights. So likely around estimate of, between a third to half students will leave or have left. So it's definitely different here on campus. It's very, very slow. Student groups aren't really meeting. So not only is that taken out, and obviously people aren't going to classes, so just the sidewalks are pretty empty. People just, going for a walk, just, going for a run, something like that, just, passing time at this point. For Michigan in general, our governor's been pretty drastic, forefront of this virus. She's, done good things. It's good that we get this, schools can have, schools are obviously a place for a lot of students to interact, so having them not being in school decreases the chances of likely contracting the virus. But she also has just banned gatherings. I think it's 250 people or more, which, has a good, intent, but I would argue is, well, not just me arguing, but it is unconstitutional. You read the Michigan Constitution, you read the U.S. Constitution, blatantly, spirit of the law, letter of law, unconstitutional. You don't need to be an academic legal scholar to figure this one out. The founders also didn't write the Constitution, so where you could only have legal scholars being able to understand what it meant. It was meant for your, someone who's at least, could read, could understand basic, human nature and law, could figure it out. So it is unconstitutional. Again, as I said, Michigan's cases went up from 2 to 12, 16, and now it's at 25. Probably will go up more, as people are getting tested, or people test, find the symptoms and then figure out they have it. The Meijer down the road, not very empty, but, some of the shelves are, toilet paper area, a lot of the meats, bread area, I guess your essential items are running lower. Obviously, I don't think we should be full-fledged pandemic, hysteria about this pandemic. Obviously, there's been different messages from the left and from the right. I'm not going to try to sort through that right now. I'm just trying to give you the situation at Michigan State and plans for the morning watch. So, I've already said a bit about, plans, what the university is looking like. Actually, this week, hopefully either Monday or Tuesday, the morning watch will be releasing a video. We're going to interview students that are still here, and just saying, how is it for you on campus? What are you doing? How are you adjusting? Should the university have handled it differently? What are your thoughts? Because again, students were recommended to leave campus, but we're not forced to, and that's not yet. Obviously, if students were told they have to leave campus, you'd have to have refunds. There would be a lot more. Already there's, different petitions going around for pass or fail classes, or, just close the university for the rest of the semester, like that, stuff going around. We're not going to sweat that out here, but, there's a lot of stuff going around. Some students are very happy, no one's really happy, but some are, more, able to deal with situations. Some are not too happy about this. Student government is also, we'll probably try to put some money towards, students that need it in this time, which I think is good. Obviously something that comes up like this, some people are unprepared. And no one's fully prepared for this. So we're going to interview students, get their thoughts. That'll be out hopefully early this week. Catch up to that. For the morning watch, there's obviously, with no events really happening on campus, because essentially all university-sponsored stuff is being, canceled, and obviously student groups aren't really meeting, and classes aren't in person, so hopefully less indoctrination. Leftist bias hopefully is down during this period, so that's one win for the coronavirus, is less leftist bias on campus. Hopefully no one has a huge disturbing outcry because I just said that, but the fact is, it's probably true. And then in addition, with all that, there's really not much that we would be reporting as we usually would. So that amount of content will go down, but we will be pushing forward, as I've told the staff and contributors, and we're having a meeting tomorrow night to go more over things. But in general, we're going, full steam ahead. There's still, shifting our attention from reporting at events and live events, in-person stuff. We can still do some interviews on campus. There's still going to be a decent amount of students here. Not everyone or the majority, but there'll still be students here. So we'll still interview students. We can still do articles about, donations the university is receiving, professors' donations where they're giving money, social media stuff for professors, all that kind of stuff we can still report on. Different opinion pieces, different, reposts, top 10s, most leftist bias cases, best, interviews on MSU, best watchdog episodes, stuff like that. There's still going to be some stuff coming out. Instead of, between 4 to 3 stories, 3 to 5 stories a week, it'll probably be down between, I hope at least 2. That's my goal as editor-in-chief, is to keep us going. In addition, a lot more growth in advertising. It's a great time. I was told to the staff, we might have less focus in the, on the ground, boots on the ground reporting. This would be a great time to shift attention, great advertising, growing the brand, growing the team while people are at home. Hopefully, they're, still consuming online content. We want to be there. We want to be out there. So that's a general scope, talking about what it's like on campus, what the Morning Watch will be doing. So it's an interesting time. Obviously, we're still a student group. We're still haven't confirmed our format of meetings yet, but we will make that announcement. And in whole retrospect of the situation, I don't think, fully that we should just, wave it off, obviously, but we also shouldn't, I don't think, go full-fledged into, shut it down, everything close, ride out the storm in that fashion. I think a much more moderate in the middle approach, much more, conservative, modest approach would be better. So we will be going forward. You can expect content from us. Please stay up to date on our social media. I'll still be doing Undeniable Stereotypicality. Obviously, there won't be so much on, live events on campus, but we'll find some, there's plenty of stuff to talk about, to share. Things that we didn't get to report last year, things that were just, things that hadn't gotten enough steam to report. Now we can do some further investigation and research. So just a little shift of priorities, but we will still be reporting on Michigan State University, things going around here, and stay up to date on the latest leftist bias by subscribing to the Morning Watch website, and also follow us on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date on the leftist bias at Michigan State University. Thank you.